Hi there, friends. I'm Steve Mayer. Welcome to Financial Morsels, where I give you a little bit of financial food for you to chew on as you go throughout your day. Please remember that this program is intended for educational and entertainment purposes only. It is not and should not be received as professional legal, tax, accounting, financial, or investment advice of any kind. Everyone's situation is unique. As such, I encourage each of you to discuss your situation with a licensed professional. Having said that, let's get started. In talking about financial planning, investing, or other topics surrounding money, we eventually hear a word that strikes fear in the hearts of some and excitement in others: risk. Risk has many faces. We don't even know about some types of risk until we have a licensed professional point them out to us. There's equity risk, interest rate risk,
longevity risk, liquidity risk, volatility risk, inflation risk, currency risk, concentration risk, credit risk, reinvestment risk, horizon risk, political risk, timing risk, systemic risk, unsystemic risk.
lions and tigers and bears. Oh my! Okay, everybody, let's take a breath and chew on this for a bit. The key to managing risk is balance. I wouldn't walk a tightrope 40 feet in the air without a safety net if I wasn't well practiced and comfortable in my balancing skills. Risk management in finances is similar. Each financial vehicle has pros and cons, which give us growth potential and risk exposure. If we find a balance, our risk exposure can be managed. Let's look at equity risk and inflation risk. As quick definitions, equity risk means the potential for losing money. Inflation risk means our investments are at risk for growing slower than inflation. Too much exposure to either of these risks, or any risk for that matter, increases potential for loss of purchasing power, making it difficult to move forward in our financial plan. To illustrate risk balance, let's use a 401k. Balancing risk with 401ks varies widely. Some funds are considered more conservative in their nature, meaning that our capital is better preserved, which means less equity risk. But growth is limited, which exposes us to inflation risk. Other 401k funds are more speculative, meaning that our growth potential is incredibly high, less inflation risk, but our possibility for losing equity is also incredibly high, high equity risk. This is why it's helpful to talk to a licensed professional to learn where our personal baseline risk level is so that we can make choices that fit us. What if we aren't comfortable with losing money? Are there any financial vehicles that eliminate equity risk altogether? Yes. Some examples could be cash, a checking or savings account, CDs, cash value life insurance, and some annuities. The pro we experience with these vehicles is that there are guarantees in place so that our capital will be contractually protected against loss. With these financial vehicles, equity risk is off the table. The con of each of these is that the growth potential is limited. Due to this, we have more inflation risk. Other types of risk fit this balance pattern as well. When we protect our funds from one risk, we end up exposing it to another. No matter how we slice it, we will always be exposed to risk. The key is to find which risks you are comfortable with. Once we know that, we can balance your financial plan. How do we do that? Through two techniques called diversification and asset allocation. These techniques are often misunderstood to be synonymous. While they are similar in their functions, one is specifically for systemic risk, while the other is for unsystemic risk. We'll go deeper into this topic in a future video. If all this seems overwhelming, that's because it most certainly can be. If we are uncomfortable with all forms of risk, does that mean we give up and avoid planning altogether? Goodness, no. Having no plan has a nasty way of coming back to bite us when it's too late to do anything about it. Any plan is less risky than having no plan at all. The good news is that you don't have to face it alone. This is why there are licensed and trained professionals in the field of finance, just like there are licensed and trained professionals in medicine, law, architecture, and other fields. We are trained to assist your navigation of this journey. Let us help you. That's all the time we have for today's morsel. If you found this to be educational or entertaining and would like to give your compliments to the chef, please hit the like and subscribe buttons and share it with your friends. In making a continual study of financial topics and investing techniques, I've come to know a lot about them over the past 20 years. While I'm continually learning, what I don't know is what you'd like to learn more of. So if you have any particular topic you'd like to have explained or any particular question you'd like to ask, please let me know in the comments section. I'll see what I can do to address them. Thanks for listening to Financial Morsels, and I hope I've given you good food for thought.